Oscar Goodman, a Vegas legend. Oscar Goodman is an American attorney and politician. He was the mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada from 1999 to 2011. He served a total of 3 terms as mayor. His wife, Carolyn Goodman, succeeded him as mayor in 2011 and is currently serving her 3rd and final term as the Las Vegas mayor. His early years. He was born and raised in a Jewish family in Philadelphia. He went to school for his bachelor's and for his Juris Doctor in Pennsylvania. He received a Bachelor of Arts from the College of Haverford, and he received his Juris Doctor degree from University of Pennsylvania Law School. Soon after finishing school, Mr. Goodman married Carolyn Goldmark, now Carolyn Goodman. They married back in 1962 and have been married since then. The married couple decided to move to Las Vegas back in 1964. Soon after, they became active in the Jewish Federation. Carolyn was actually the president of the Jewish Federation at one point. Mr. Goodman and his wife have 4 children, all adopted and born within 38 months of each other. Their ultimate goal was to have 6 children total, but decided to stay with 4. His career as a defense attorney brought a lot of attention to him, and the main reason for that was that he represented defendants accused of being some of the leading organized crime figures, not only in Las Vegas, but places like Chicago and San Diego, to name a few. In 1995, Goodman had a brief appearance in the movie Casino due to his career as a criminal defense attorney. He appeared as himself defending one former Vegas mobster and casino boss. Goodman served as president of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers from 1980 to 1981. He was also senior partner in the law firm Goodman and Chesnoff, and later served as of counsel to the Goodman Law Group, which was founded by his son, Ross C. Goodman, who still practices law here in Las Vegas. Mr. Goodman was elected mayor of Las Vegas in June 1999. That's when his public service career started. He received almost 64% of the votes. Mr. Goodman was reelected for a second 4-year term in 2003. He not only defeated 5 opponents, but he received nearly 86% of the votes. Then again, on April 3rd, 2007, he was reelected to serve a 3rd and final term. He received nearly 84% of the votes, and once again defeating 5 opponents. Based on his victories, it's fair to say that he was well respected and well liked within the Las Vegas community. To this day, I believe it's the case. Mr. Goodman worked on various community projects. When I interviewed him in September and then in October, he actually talked to me about him. He says that one of the biggest wins during his time as mayor was the purchase of land, which is now Symphony Park, 62 acres, downtown Las Vegas. Now, on these 61 acres, you can find the Cleveland Clinic, Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, as well as the Smith Center for the Performing Arts, which is very successful, and the Discovery Children's Museum. He's very proud of that, and he thinks that that was a very successful project. And I would have to agree with that. Mr. Goodman supported the creation of more cultural centers in the community. He believes in inclusiveness. He feels that everybody should be able to have cultural centers in which they can meet with different people and just have a nice environment. Mr. Goodman also wanted to bring professional sports to Vegas in an effort to diversify our economy, and because we also never had a professional sports team. He made various attempts, he made various calls, he met with different people, but unfortunately it didn't happen while he was in office, though he is very happy that it has happened while his wife has been the mayor of Las Vegas. Some more projects while in office. Mr. Goodman assisted with revitalizing downtown. He wanted to make sure that people, our visitors, felt safe visiting downtown, and that locals also felt safe. He wanted to clean it up. He wanted to help with the homeless population, which he did. He actually supported a lot of homelessness initiatives. One of which he was criticized for years ago. He suggested that they create some sort of center in the Jean jail. He explained to me why, because it was a big facility and he wanted different things to happen there, you know, things that would help the homeless population, such as therapy, rehab area, you know, where people could get clean, where they can get medical assistance, mental health assistance, and whatnot. But he says that it was blown out of proportion, and that he was blasted in a lot of newspapers saying the Las Vegas mayor wants to incarcerate all of the homeless population, which he said was never ever the case. And you know, to this day, he tries to support a lot of initiatives to help the homeless population. In addition to that, he also wanted to legalize prostitution while in office, but Nevadans opposed his stance back in 2003. I asked him how he felt about this. Here we are, 2019, and he says that he still believes in it. He feels that it would be beneficial, just like it was to legalize marijuana, because we can tax it, it becomes safer for everyone, and it becomes legal. I asked him about some of the lessons that he learned while in office, and he mentioned several things, but the most important things that really stood out and that he felt very strong about was the importance of being financially independent. He says that when you're financially independent, you have less temptations to bribery, because he says that when you're in public office, people will bribe you for different things. And if you're financially independent, you don't fall into those temptations most of the time. He says that he never did, and he's very proud of that. And he says that because of his successful career as a criminal defense attorney, it gave him the financial independence to be able to concentrate on the community versus thinking about financial issues. Another lesson is he feels that all public servants should listen to their constituents. To never forget that you work for them, because a lot of people then later think that it's about them, and it's never about the public servant, it's about the people. He says that he always practiced that and made it a point to never forget. He also stated to always do the right thing, even if it means saying no. He gave me some different examples of times where we had to say no to very powerful and prominent people. I'm not going to disclose names just because I told him I wouldn't, and I'm not. But he held his stance to protect the community from projects in which he felt were not beneficial, in regards to zoning, for example. And so again, there's a lot of bribery that takes place. He insists that one should stay true to oneself and do the right thing, just like he did. I asked him for advice for up-and-coming leaders. One thing that I will never forget is what he said. Aspire to be a public servant, not a politician. That means a lot. It really differentiates a politician from a public servant. When you are a public servant, you think about the people. You think about doing things in the best interest of your community. And when you consider yourself a politician, it's all about politics and not the people. Once again, you know, before you get into politics, be financially independent. so that you are very well aware of the many temptations, which I touched on briefly, which include bribery, special favors for people in high positions within the community, zoning favors, accepting money in return for favors, and also using public funds for personal gain. That's something that you never want to fall into. He says that he saw many people do that, and then he saw the consequences of that. So he's very proud of the fact that he never had that issue while he was in office. He also recommends that you base your decisions in the best interests of the community you serve, not just you, not your personal gain, not your personal opinion, but the community you serve. And another important thing before I end this presentation that he said is that by doing this, you will sleep well at night. He says that he never had a sleepless night based on the decisions he made while he was in office. And that's all I have. The end. Viva Las Vegas, and thank you for your time.